of the meeting where we will get the opportunity to hear from our speakers. Our first speaker tonight, I will introduce, and there is going to be some group participation. So if you bleed green, yellow, and white, I think, or you bleed blue, orange, and white, then follow suit. You'll understand. So, our first speaker tonight is Renee B. She's a Tampa native, and she works in outside sales for a consumer goods company. She's married to Paul Bernard, and they have 2 daughters under the age of 5. She received her bachelor's in communication at USF. Go Bulls. Participation. Thank you. That's the green and the white there. And she also received her MBA at the University of Florida. Go Gators. There's 2 of us. All right. So, she joined Suncoast Toastmasters this past July to continue to practice and improve her public speaking skills. She's delivering her first speech tonight, The Icebreaker, from the Competent Communication Manual. The title of her speech is A Problem Turned into an Opportunity. Let us have a warm welcome for Renee B.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. And good evening, fellow members and our guests. Thank you for coming tonight. Tonight, I'm going to walk you through a problem I've had my whole entire life. And this problem is talking. I mean, I talk a lot. And I realize we're in Toastmasters and that's a good thing, right? But my whole life, I've had a lot of problems with my talking. So I'm just curious, by a show of hands, how many of you have a trait that people have told you your whole life, you need to stop? Anyone? So a few of us, good, I'm not alone. So then you guys might get something from my speech as well tonight. So I'm going to take you through 3 tips that I learned about how to handle my problem. The first tip was really my parents. They felt like the best way to deal with my propensity to talk was to go ahead and stop it. So the way they decided to do that is they put me in Catholic school. So I was in kindergarten, I was 5 years old, and when I wasn't wool gathering, I was talking. And I'll never forget the first time I talked out of turn. Sister Rafina eyed me from across the room, and she started charging at me, and all I saw was her beady little glasses and her pursed lips. And she said, "Young lady, put your hands out, palms up." So I put my hands out, palms up, and whack! The ruler. Yes, these were in the days when corporal punishment in Catholic school, it was encouraged. Smacked me on the bottom of my hand. You would think that would make me stop talking. No. I got smacked on the hands regularly, okay? And one day, she was just so fed up with me. She sent me to the principal's office, and that's where I met Sister Mary. She had the biggest paddle waiting for me. This is the biggest thing I've ever seen. Needless to say, I wasn't able to sit after that right away, and I had to wait in the office for my parents to come pick me up. But the great news is that was the final nail in the coffin for me when it came to Catholic school. My parents took me out. They realized this was not the answer for me. Me and Catholic school, we didn't go hand in hand. So that takes me to my second tip I have for you. If you're not able to stop your problem, my second tip is find a way to benefit from it. So in school growing up, my grades were always pretty much the same. I did well academically, but as far as talking, it always got me in trouble. So it wasn't until I was in the 11th grade that I discovered drama, and I discovered speech and debate, and then I felt like I was at home. For the first time in my life, I wasn't being criticized for talking, I was actually being applauded. I was the lead in a play, and I really felt like I found my place. So that leads me to my third tip. And my third tip is, okay, I found a way to benefit from it, but you have to do something more outside of high school, right? I mean, you know you have a problem. How can we turn this into a career opportunity? So that's my tip number 3. And that's exactly what I did. But I'll tell you the truth, it happened completely by accident. I graduated from high school and I needed to find a job. And I saw this posting for, what was it? It was at a car dealership and it was for a title office administrator. So I thought, hey, it's full-time, it pays well, sign me up. I went to the job interview and I sat down and I knew I was nailing it. She asked me about my experiences and I told her, well, I used to sell men's suits and I was pretty successful with that, and she seemed impressed. And then she tilted her head to the side and she said, how do you feel about not talking, like for a whole day? And I said, a whole day? She said, yeah, a whole day. Then I thought about it and I was like, well, surely she just means like if it's a slow day and people aren't buying cars that day. Oh, sure, I told her. I can find something else better to do. That's not a problem. But when customers come, I'm so good at talking to them. She said, no, honey, you got this wrong. Your job will be in that office back there. You'll be on the computer, pulling up titles, filing. You may pick up the phone from time to time, but on the most part, that's it. So I thought about that. I was like, I'm not going to talk. And in that moment, we both knew I was not the right person for this job. But then she stood up. She said, you, follow me. We're going to the other side. So she walked me to the other side. She said, I want you to do an interview over here. I think you'd be perfect for selling cars. I said, selling cars? I'm 18 years old. Are you kidding me? Next thing I knew, I was shaking the hand and accepting a job offer for selling cars at the age of 18. And that was really the start of my career in sales. So that's a little tidbit about myself. Hopefully, you realize how I embrace my problem, and you're thinking about your own problem and the 3 tips that I gave you tonight. Either stop it, benefit from it, or turn it into a career. I no longer see my talking as a problem. I see it as a gift, the gift of gab.